Hello, everyone. Today, our chat will be talking to Munira, who is a coach about, self-fulfillment and self-worth. And she is joining us right now. And basically, she's was born and raised in Montreal, Quebec, and grew up, being bullied, feeling very excluded and rejected. And so, now she's had, she had so much anger, and now she just she's on a mission to fulfill a new purpose in life, and that is to help millennial women to recognize their worth, build their confidence, and letting go of whatever is that's weighing them down. So let's have her join us here right now. Hi.
Hello.
Finally, nice seeing you. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am good. So, why don't you tell, I just talk about your bio a little bit at the beginning. So why don't you just say it in your own words so that everybody knows, what you're about.
Yes, so like you said, I grew up in Montreal, Quebec, and I was the only minority, one of the few minorities in my
Mhm.
school. I was bullied a lot, and then at home, I was dealing with domestic violence, and so I just felt like I never had a safe space, and it was very hard for me to also confide in people. And so I just had like all my emotions were like buried inside of me, and so I grew up with so much resentment, so much anger and fear and guilt as well. And so now I was like, you know what? I want to help other people that feel like they don't have a support system. And I want to help them just feel worthy. I feel like when you feel worthy, your perception of yourself is just different. So the first thing
Mhm.
is for you to recognize your worth. And then from there, you can just build your confidence.
Mm,
Yes.
I see. So let's jump on to our first question. And it is, what is the easiest way for, our audience here, especially women, to recognize, the insecure energy that is holding them back from being the best?
The first thing is second guessing yourself, not trusting yourself to make decisions. And so I noticed that some people, especially if you grew up with like over controlling parents and or
Mm-hmm.
parents that have very high expectations of you, it is very hard to trust yourself um, and to believe that you can do something, even though it doesn't look like their ideal way of doing that thing. The second thing will be just unexplained anger. A lot of times people don't know that perhaps they are so angry because they are tired of dealing with the guilt that they feel. And so unexplained anger. And then the third thing will just be uncomfortable. You're uncomfortable around other people. You're uncomfortable with your emotions. Some people do not want to journal because they are so uncomfortable facing their emotions. So
Wow, so that's huge, right? The energy there. And so how, because I am a personal trainer, so I'm just wondering how do you, balancing between, your energy, what you feel inside with health and fitness.
yeah, I think especially for me, growing up, I was very skinny, very, very skinny, and I was called anorexic a lot. But what
Oh,
people don't realize is that when you are, when you have a certain skin tone, like, you're black and then
yeah.
you're skinny, people associate that with like a status, right? And so they
Oh,
see you as like, oh, you're like this poor person. All of a sudden, right? If someone else was to be skinny, it's not so much related to their economic status, right? And so I was dealing with that a lot, and
oh,
then I would find myself overeating, and so and then be
oh,
disgusted with myself that I was overeating. And so even right now, I'm learning how to just like deal with food in a certain way and just choose food like that are colorful because my energy is like a creative energy, and so choose food that
uh-huh.
is um that is colorful, and also learning like I really love what you're doing in terms of like infusing your culture into your healthy eating habits, because that's
Right.
very huge with me because I'm
Mhm.
Nigerian. And so in terms of health, like fitness wise, I like to dance. I feel like it's a way for me to just
transform my energy, especially after like having a coaching session with people. What I like to do is dance. I just dance kizomba just to like let go of the emotions. Yeah.
Yeah, so if if my audience don't know about you, like the cool thing is like you are actually bilingual, right? You speak English and French, which kind of normal where you're from is Canada, so obviously you have to speak both. But it's very odd, like it's you are the first you know African descent person that I've met that actually speak French, because usually I'm just more used to people speaking Spanish here because I am in the US and also in the South. And I do recognize that as just women of color, and I'm more lucky than you in a sense that I went to school with a lot of people of color, but I'm the only Asian
I went,
in the group. So it's very funny.
yeah, I went to school with people of color too, but I was the only black.
Yeah, so we're really, like opposite of each other there. Yeah, because I mean, at my workplace right now, a lot of European people, but obviously, we have a couple of black, but like still, I'm the only Asian still in there. So it's sort of fun to, exchange, our cultures and see, what we can do to elevate, our energy together, especially as women. And the next question would be, does health and being healthy matter when your energy is already good, like you're already feeling good about yourself? So should, the other stuff matter?
Yeah, one thing with energy, you need to charge it. The way you charge your phone is the same way you need to recharge your energy. And so you need to find what's right for you. For me, I
Mm-hmm.
honestly hate going to the gym unless I'm going like an accountability partner. But the thing about dancing that really brings out my femininity, my sensuality, and my
Mm-hmm.
creativity. And so, like, it's just, and I think, like, on your story yesterday, you said that there's not one way to be healthy. And it is true, there's not one way to do fitness, right? And so, you
Mm-hmm.
just find the fitness that is in alignment with yourself. And so, definitely, health and fitness, however you define it, is important. Even if you feel good, you need to maintain it and maintain your balance.
Right. Yeah, because so is there like a good enough standard, or is it just, whatever you feel like you come up with?
Standard for like beauty standards or
Mhm. Both. So like, because our energy is do has like other people affects our energy as well.
yeah,
And so either it is beauty standard or fitness standard or even energy standard. So do you have like a guide, like a standardized things, or is it just how you feel like it's the best for you?
yeah, it's so different for everybody. It's so different for everybody. I know for me, like when I was growing up, I was looking up to Janet Jackson. If you were to ask me if I look up to someone now, I don't know, like in terms of beauty standards, I think I'm just looking up to the version of myself that is just accepting, that is
Mm,
accepting. And so for me, in terms of standards, it's very different for everyone. You go to Turkey, maybe it looks different. You go to Korea, maybe it looks different. You go to like
mm-hmm,
Namibia, maybe it looks different, right? And so even like growing up, everyone wanted like white hips. And I was the one
mm-hmm.
like the big butt. And so I was ashamed of that. But now social media, it makes it look like, and so standards change. And
Yeah.
one thing, if anything, that I would love for people to realize is that because standards change, you cannot bank on it because it
Right.
is, because it'll tell you 10 years later that you're not good enough, and then 5 years later that you are perfect. And so you cannot depend on that to validate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Wow. So yeah, because I noticed a similar thing. Like it used to be, the skinny girls,
Yes,
and that's like the curvy girls,
yes,
and everybody's trying to get, that booty and everything. Because that is something I've noticed too. Like a lot of my clients would come up to me and ask about, how do I lose weight and not lose this booty?
yes.
And I'm like, girl, it's in your genes.
I know.
So it is, yeah. So would you like so? if there's no standardized standards out there, so would you create your own, or you just just depending on the flow, like sometimes you feel good about it or sometimes you just feel bad about yourself, like how would you take that?
Yeah, and it's really wearing the clothes that make that that make you look good. What one
Mm-hmm.
person wears might not fit me, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know
Right.
that for me, because my waist is, I used to hate how slim my waist was. I felt like I
Mm.
had no transition. I felt like I had a small waist and then a big booty, and I really hated that. I couldn't wear jeans. I hated that so much. And so now I know that for my body type, I need to wear a lot of like high waisted.
Oh.
And so just knowing that, okay, this looks good on me and that other thing doesn't look good on me. And clothes are a tool. It's not, are a
Mm.
tool for you to just like make yourself look better. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Yeah, that is yeah, that's all of the questions I have for you today. And let's see if we have any questions in the comments.
Okay, sure.
And let's see. Oh, somebody's doing something here. No, somebody's requesting to join our live. I don't think we would plan for that, but yeah. So that is it for today's live. It's a quick and fun thing, and I don't see any questions. Excuse me. So I don't see any questions down below. So I'll just end this call, and thank you so much, Munira, for coming out on
Yes.
here and chatting with me.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye bye.